Dolphins, Bills from Buffalo, giving us our first look at Brandon Marshall as a Miami Dolphin. And C.J. Spiller, the first running back selected, the first-round pick by Buffalo. Third play of the Bills' opening possession, Trent Edwards dropped by Carlos Danby.
Whoa.
Carlos Dansby, 9-yard loss.
Yeah,
Big
that's
acquisition.
a good Dolphins defense that got better by acquiring him.
Chad Henne hoping to get better by the acquisition of Brandon Marshall. 13-yard gain, Miami first down. Led to a field goal, and the Dolphins led 3-0.
Pretty average day through the air.
Yeah, but still not getting the ball. Just run those smoke routes. Just pick the ball up and throw it to Brandon Marshall.
He's throwing it to him right here. 10-yard gain.
8 catches, 53 yards. Brandon Marshall averages 6.6 yards per catch.
Something wrong with it.
Same drive, 7 plays later. Second.
That was hire me to do that. You don't pay him $44 million to average 6.6
Empty backfield.
yards.
Henne looking for Anthony Fasano. Check out that adjustment on the ball by the big guy.
Good throw, good catch, good read.
Next play, Ronnie Brown in from 1 yard out, and the Dolphins, after the extra point, led 10-0 on the road.
Back from what, the Liz Frank injury of last year?
Got a lot of
Did I get that right?
That's correct.
Bills would come back. Fourth play of the next drive. Marshawn Lynch cutting over the left side.
What?
14-yard gain. That drive led to a Bills field goal. Cut the lead to 10-3.
We're not even paying attention. Sorry, Paul.
Pay no attention to the two men to my left. Next Dolphins possession, Chad Henne with time.
Well, this is what we're asking for.
Here we go.
And again, he threw it behind him. Put it out there on him. Let him make the play.
He loses a shoe.
Yeah, you can't. You got to make the catch, true enough. But put it on him. That's what you got him there for.
If this team's going to compete in the East, they've got to get more out of their quarterback.
And he's got to catch that.
Yeah, he's got to catch that.
C.J. Spiller, 2nd and 10. Stopped for a 4-yard loss. Fellow rookie first-round pick Jared Odrin.
Spiller, what, 6 carries?
Here he is.
7 attempts, rather, 6 yards.
How is that
Not
possible?
so good.
7 attempts. How is that possible for your draft choice that you get the flash player of the draft and he gets 7
Well,
attempts?
they had to give it to Marshawn Lynch.
Why?
They had to give it to Fred Jackson.
Why?
And
Fourth quarter, Buffalo trailing 13-3. Trent Edwards sacked by Koamisi, another rookie.
And you also have to give Trent Edwards an opportunity to throw it 34 times despite not being down more than 10 at any point.
Well, it's 4th and 11. They're going for it. Edwards to Roscoe Parrish, wide open, 31-yard touch.
Coverage.
Buffalo coming back. How somebody get that
Credit.
open?
Yeah, give him some credit.
Right down the middle of the field.
That's a busted coverage. Who's guarding him? Okay, is that not busted coverage?
No, you're right.
See, Nolan Carroll allows Parrish to run right past him.
Insinuating that the only reason they scored a touchdown was because of busted.
That's exactly right. That's the only reason they scored, because of busted coverage.
A 4th and 15. That's only a 9-yard gain to David Nelson. The final score: the Dolphins go up north and win 15-10. Not a lot of numbers offensively, but Chad Henne just good enough. 21 out of 34.
That's how they win. That's what they do.
Wins a win. Brad Childress, Tony Sperano. The Dolphins looking to go 2-0. And Tom, little surprising, the Dolphins come out throwing. Henne to Marshall, pretty hookup.
Well, and if this team is going to be a factor in the AFC East and the AFC playoff picture overall, you got to see more of this. This team is going to go as far as Chad Henne and Brandon Marshall take them.
Waits for Brian Hartline to open up in the back of the end zone. 5-yard touchdown, extra point. Miami leads 7-0.
And Ronnie might have something to say about it.
No, I know, but you have to be multidimensional in the AFC East.
Brett Favre did have 3 interceptions, but this is not his fault. Percy Harvin got to catch this ball.
Got to catch the ball.
It was almost as if he just didn't know where he was supposed to be. His body control was not good, and then he didn't catch the football. Again, I think this is symbolic of a lack of work in training camp. Harvin had the migraine headaches, and Favre was in Mississippi. It's going to take some time for those two to get back on the same page.
Play was challenged, but it stood as an interception. Miami leading 7-0 at halftime. Third quarter, far back to pass in his own end zone. Cameron Wake strips it out. Koamisi recovers. The rookie. Extra points.
You
Miami
can't
leads
blame
14-0.
that on Brett Favre. You got to protect the guy.
Well, what are you looking at me for? I'm just telling you. Brett doesn't have a ton to work with. He threw 3 picks today, and that fumble, he turned it over 4 times.
When I said I wasn't worried about Brett, you were all over me.
I'm worried about him. I'm worried he doesn't have enough around him, and I'm worried that he makes throws like that. Is that on him?
There's that back shoulder fade he was just talking about.
Well, the back shoulder of the Dolphins defender.
Jason Allen makes the pick. Next play, Ricky Williams puts it on the ground. Henderson recovers it, and the Vikings take over. This would be their lone touchdown drive from 2 yards out. 2 plays later, second and goal. It's Adrian Peterson up the middle, and the Vikings cut the lead in half to 14-7.
Big day for Adrian Peterson, over 100 yards rushing, and he was the bell cow. That's what they got to do, continue to get him the football.
Well, and the Vikings defense, not bad, held the Dolphins to 226 total yards, created a couple of turnovers, and had some sacks.
We just saw this going the other way. Favre looking for Bernard Varian, but intercepted by Jason Allen, his third pick of the game.
Who's that one on?
Okay, that one.
So was the other one.
Okay,
the other one was on him,
throw.
too. And I'll even say a guy's been in the league 19 years should have felt that pressure on the goal line and known more where he was.
Vikings defense coming up big, though, getting the fumble stripped by Pat Williams, recovered by E.J. Henderson, and Tony Sperano's team gives it right back. Next Vikings possession, 4th and goal at the 1. Vikings going for it. Who are you going to give it to?
AP.
Carlos Dansby is there to stuff him, and it's turned over on downs.
I have no problem with the decision. I mean, you're down 4. What are you going to do? You're going to kick the field goal and then
4 shots at it?
Yeah.
The Vikings got the ball back with 1:42 left. 3rd and 10. Favre to Greg Lewis, 14-yard gain, and a Vikings first down. 5 plays later, it was 4th and 7 at the Miami 27. Favre looking over the middle for the man who's become his number 1 receiver, Visanthe Shenko. Incomplete. Miami hangs on to win 14-10. Dolphins start the season 2-0 for the first time since 2002. Adrian Peterson goes 28 carries for 145, and the Vikings defense pretty good too, only 14 points. But Favre with those 3 interceptions, we can argue all we want about whose fault they were, but the bottom line is 14-10.
They are what they are. Look, I'm going to run out and buy a Favre jersey right after the show because I'm not big a fan of his, Jamie. But when you turn it over 4 times and 3 of them are on him, you've got some issues. I'm not saying it's all him. He could use a Sidney Rice.
Braylon Edwards, the Jets came out before the game and said he wouldn't play at all in the first quarter, so he sat. And it's Sanchez to Dustin Keller.
Yeah.
Nice back
I like their
throw.
opening script. Their first 2 drives, they were wide open, throwing the ball all over the place. Dustin Keller was involved early and often.
24 yards for the 7-0 Jets lead. Okay, so here comes Edwards, second quarter. Second possession here. Jets still up 7-0. But Daniel Tomlinson running with a little bit of new life.
A little pep in his step, a little spring, running as if he almost has something to prove.
21 yards there. Now it's Sanchez, a dart to Keller.
I can't understand for the life of me, after you watch what Baltimore Ravens did with Dustin Keller. You have to get somebody on him every time because that's where Sanchez wants to throw the ball.
Jets up 14-0, 14-10 now, and it's Chad Henne to Brian Hartline, 15 yards.
Well, some of the other receivers from Miami stepped up and started making some plays.
All right, 12th play of this drive, and it's Henne to Brandon Marshall.
Beast. That's a man. Now that's a man.
Yeah, Brandon showed up today and made some good plays.
11-yard touchdown there. Here come the Jets. Sanchez to Braylon Edwards.
Miss a tackle, see ya.
Well, keep in mind, they sodded the rest of the infield. So usually there's dirt down there. They put some sod down there, and the defender tripped up. Jason Allen, Edwards has gone 67 yards.
Yeah, boy, you see that, man. But first of all, once you make that spin, Dion, and I rarely have I seen you make that spin. You got to make that spin and then stop. Don't attack anybody.
Keep your feet up under you.
Dolphins coming right back. Henne lays it up for Marshall.
Yeah, this guy can make all the throws from the pocket and outside the pocket.
You got outside coverage right here. He's expecting help from the inside, from the safety, but he needs to stay on top the upfield shoulder of the receiver. Now you got this play defended, and that's not what Cromartie did.
That was a jump ball right there. Marshall's going to win that every time. Henne looking for Marshall. Great play by Marshall to rob Cromartie of a pick.
But Cromartie was way down inside. Brandon tried to get across his face. Would have been better if they had to fade on that call.
Led to a field goal, 21-20. Fields punt here, blocked by Eric Smith. And so the Jets are in business, but penalties ended up being a huge issue here. Sean Green for 6 yards, but Braylon Edwards called for tripping at the 8. All right, 2nd and 9. Sanchez to Edwards. Down to the 5-yard line, but Matt Lawson called for holding. 4th quarter, same drive, 3rd and 15. Brad Smith takes a snap, 16 yards to the 6.
That was a great play.
3rd and goal here, and it's Sanchez scrambling. Gets in.
Dive in. Forget about the hook slide.
Put Matt Lawson called for holding.
Kids do not read his lips.
Rex Ryan on fire. Jets ended up going up on a field goal, 24-20. Looking for LT right there. Boy, Kendall Langford hit 6 the other way. All right, next play here. It's Sanchez to Braylon Edwards.
Huge throw on the sideline on 3rd and 10. That was a huge throw. Keep it on time and outside.
Bam!
First down.
That hit right there was saying, hey, guys, bam, I'm sorry I did that this week.
30-yard gain. 2nd and 3 here. Tomlinson gets to the corner.
By Braylon Edwards on the corner to get LaDainian Tomlinson around that corner.
18 yards to the 5. Sanchez now for Edwards. It's incomplete, but Jason Allen called for pass interference.
He had a tough day all day long.
So here we go. 2 plays later at the goal line. Tomlinson gets in. He had 70 yards on the ground plus a rushing touchdown. And so the Jets are up 8. But here come the Dolphins. Heading to Brandon Marshall. Marshall with a huge day. 10 catches, 166 yards. On the very next play here, on a 1st and 10, it is heading to Marshall again.
Nice block. Get it in.
42 seconds left now. 6th play of the drive. 3rd and 9. And Chad Henne dumps it off to Ronnie Brown.
They can get that now.
All right, so the Dolphins forced here to burn their final timeout. And this is the final play of the game here. Henne picked off by Drew Coleman.
Tad late. This ball was up for grabs. Would have tied the game with a 2-point play. And let's give Jason Taylor a shower. Look at Rex. Look at Rex.
Wait a minute. Shouldn't that last ball get thrown towards Brandon Marshall? I don't care if he's in the bathroom.
Tom Brady looking for his 100th career win. Chad Henne was good last weekend. See if he can do it again on Monday night. First quarter, no score. Henne looking right. That's Devon Bess, and that is a Miami touchdown. The Dolphins looking good at this point. Chad Henne starts out 7 for 7 for 93 yards. Bill Belichick saying we got to get some things figured out. Next Miami possession, Henne looking for Brandon Marshall. Intercepted by who is this, Charles?
This is Rob Ninkovich. It's all right. 2nd career start in the NFL. A 5th-round pick of the Saints in 2006, and he ends up having a career night.
Second quarter, more Henne, play action, rolling to his right. But Rob Ninkovich, again, that was an athletic interception.
And you know the interesting part is, look at the score on each one of these. It was 7-zip Dolphins when Henne threw the first interception, 7-3 Dolphins when he throws the second one, which helps lead to...
The fake spike almost worked, fellas. Randy Moss had that one in his hands.
Yeah, that's a catch he typically would pull in.
See him give the signal there that it's not the fake. We're coming to you, Randy, with the little tug on the helmet. And Randy's trying to get both feet down while possessing the football, a difficult catch.
Patriots settled for a field goal, 7-6 Miami at halftime. Special teams absolutely took over, wasting no time. This is Brandon Tate with the opening kickoff. Think about what a high draft pick he would have been, Charles, minus that, if you had a good knee coming into the draft in 2009.
Well, he was rated highly, then he blows his knee out, and, of course, that loses a little bit of draft position. But our old colleague here at NFL Network, Butch Davis, plenty of athletes coming out of North Carolina playing for him.
So the Patriots lead 13-7. The next Dolphins possession gets worse. Patrick Chung, also a draft pick in 2009, blocks the punts, and they take over at the 15.
It just, if this keeps happening, then Tony, right there, you need to go back to the drawing board because those things can't kill a football team.
And don't worry about the running game without Fred Taylor. This is Ben Jarvis. Green Ellis goes in up the middle of the draw play, and just like that, the Patriots leading 20-7.
Fitting that a man with a hyphenated name like that went to 2 schools in his collegiate career, Ole Miss and Indiana.
There's a highlight, not a low light for the Miami offense. Henne to Brandon Marshall. 19-yard gain to the 23. Marshall's second catch of the day. Next play, Henne to Ricky Williams, and he's cutting back, and he's scoring a touchdown. And Miami back in it right now at 20-14. That's a 28-yard score.
You needed to see a little more Brandon Marshall tonight. We need to get our playmakers the ball.
I mean, his first catch didn't occur, I believe, until the second half.
That's not what they were looking for.
And Wes Welker had a big night. 17 yards down to the Miami 17. 4 plays later, Brady looking for the same man. Welker down the left side, 15 yards to the Miami 16-yard line.
Does it tell you how good he is, Coach, when you game plan for him and he still makes all these catches?
He kills you. I mean, you can't. When you look at him, you go, "How's this guy keep doing it?" coming off a knee, but he just keeps doing it. And the Patriots keep coming up with guys.
Find these guys. Like Danny Woodhead.
Yeah, where do you find him?
The Jets cut him, and the Patriots took him.
Now, Dan Carpenter for the field goal. That's Patrick Chung again. Kyle Arrington picks it up. 35 yards for another New England score. And as we talked about moments ago, this is unprecedented. The kickoff return for the touch, a blocked punt, and a blocked field goal for a touchdown in one half. New England leads 34-14.
I've never seen it. I don't know that it's. I wonder if it's. I don't know if teams have done that in a season, let alone
one game.
That's Chad Henne's third INT of the game. I'm giving that one a little bit more to Brandon Marshall.
Looked like Brandon Marshall stopped his route where it appeared he was supposed to go across the field, but he stopped the route, and Chad Henne had already thrown the ball to a spot. Patrick Chung, thank you very much to cap off an unbelievable evening for the young man wearing 25 for New England.
A game that was 7-6 Miami at halftime turns into this. 41-14, the Patriots really embarrassed the Dolphins in Miami.
Aaron Rodgers is starting for the Packers after suffering a concussion just a week ago in that loss to the Redskins. And he looked just fine. Packers down 7-3. Look at the gun. To Greg Jennings.
He looked real fine right there.
86 yards. Packers on top 10-7. And prime Vontae Davis didn't know where he was.
Yeah, whenever you have aggressive corner, the thing you can do with him is double move him. You got to understand, this cornerback is running the 4-3, so that means Greg Jennings is running the 4-3 also because he couldn't catch him.
Longest reception of Jennings' career. Chad Henne out of Brandon Marshall for the touchdown. But wait a minute.
Wait a minute now. How about our feet? We got a tiptoe? No, you got to have them both in.
So they had to settle for a 53-yard gain. Carpenter field goal, tied up at 10. Marshall, another great day, 127 yards through the air. 13-10. Rodgers picked off by Jason Allen, who hopefully he's having a nice year.
Right there. Good job.
2 weeks ago he did.
So here comes the Dolphins. 8-way to drive on a 4th and 1.
Versus the Jets.
And it's Ronnie Brown, who keeps going, clearly gets the first down.
It's like it's easy.
But they gave him a bad spot.
But it looked as though his elbow was down. Watch.
That was his hand, not his elbow.
I don't know about that spot.
And so the Dolphins challenge, it was still upheld. Mason Crosby tied the game up at 13. All right, Dolphins now punting. There's a flag down. So the Packers called for illegal formation.
Yeah, this is crazy because you've got to practice this all week. You cannot line up somebody across from the head of the center on field goals and or punts.
So due to the Robert Francois penalty, Dolphins are alive.
Here
Nice
now.
play call.
What a play. This guy, Chad Henne did a great job of holding on to the last second, taking his hit to Fasano.
Fasano on the Lambeau lead. Fakes him out there.
Yeah, let's take a look at it. Everybody's going to run sprint right option, tight end screen weak, all right? So the quarterback's going to sprint out. Everybody's going to get going. Jake Long, the tackle's going to set inside. And all of a sudden he goes, I'm going to come out of here. And Fasano's going to squirt out of here after the blitz. Good play call against the backside blitz. And this is an easy walk-in for a touchdown. Sprint right option, tight end screen left. I like it.
All right, so the Packers back to work. It is Rodgers on the move. They roll him out. And then he heads back to his left and lays it up to Jordy Nelson.
Nobody does this better now than Aaron Rodgers, moving around right or left, thrown out of the pocket, making good decisions.
4th and 7. It's Rodgers to Greg Jennings for 20 yards and a first down.
And here we go, trying to make that drive. We talk about what separates the good from the great in this league are the quarterbacks that can do this. Move your team late in the game.
This is smart now. Look at this is really an audible. Aaron Rodgers says, you know what? The defense is not lined up right. I'm going to just tap my center, and away we go and walk in for the touchdown.
That was on a 4th and goal, which forced overtime, tied at 20. Packers here. After a Miami punt, it is Rodgers. What a day Cameron Wake had. 3 sacks for the big fella.
He's a beast. Definitely going to the Pro Bowl this year if it's up to me.
Dan Carpenter from 44 yards away. Dolphins, they're 3-0 on the road this year. They went after the bye, 23-20.
In Miami.
I'm going by the NFL rules. I will play by NFL rules. I will not. Pity league.
That's the most ornery, quick retiree I've ever met.
He's back.
he's getting a check this week.
Let's pick things up in the second quarter with Miami up 6-3. Miami got some early turnovers, but only could put field goals on the board. So when Hines Ward popped it in the end zone with 11 and change left in the first half, Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers had a 10-6 lead. Ward with 131 yards receiving on the day. 10-9, less than 6 minutes to go there. Mike Wallace up top, 53-yarder.
He's becoming the big play guy now for Big Ben. Mike Wallace.
Dolphins ensuing possession.
Dolphins take the ball.
2 minutes to go in the half. Chad Henne trying to get some points. Finds his newly signed wide receiver long-term, Devon Bess, making some plays, breaking tackles, leaps into the end zone. The booth buzzes down to see if Bess stepped out of bounds, and he did not.
This guy's like a running back playing receiver. The physicality, the running ability, this guy has it all.
1 point game. Dolphins up 17-16. It's 2019 Dolphins down with 8 minutes to go. Henne to Anthony Fasano. Forget about it.
Get out of bounds.
The Rutgers tight end gets out of bounds. Would lead to a Dolphin field goal. And Tony Sperano is up by 2. Steelers ensuing possession. 3:45 to go. 3rd and 5 from the Miami 43. Mewelde Moore taking it inside the red zone and more. Down to the Miami 14, 4 plays later, 3rd and goal from the Miami 2. Ben Roethlisberger calls his own number. It's number 7. It looks like he gets 6, but the ball's loose. There's a scrum. The Dolphins come away eventually from the pile with the ball. The ruling on the field is a touchdown. Tony Sperano wants a challenge, and you see the ball is loose, and it is not a touchdown, except for the fact when you review this type of play, you also need to see who has recovered the ball clearly and without any visual, I guess, duplicity or anything. Well, let's stir it toward the script.
After review, it has been determined that prior to the ball crossing the goal line, the runner did lose possession of the ball. However, by rule in replay, 2 aspects of this play must be available to be viewed. Not only did we have to view the fumble being a fumble, we also have to have clear evidence of the team recovering the ball. After review, we do not have clear evidence of the defense recovering the football. Therefore, Pittsburgh will have the ball, 4th and goal at the half-yard line.
I didn't know we needed to be taking notes during that process. Well, you can see Alama Francis
the ref has a ball, too.
Comes out.
How's your evidence there?
The ref had a ball in his hands as well.
So that's the way the Pittsburgh Steelers got the ball back and kicked a go-ahead field goal, and then the defense did the rest.
With a 3-man rush.
And the Steelers, that's the way they hang on to victory. 1 point win in Miami to go to 5-1 and keep the Dolphins winless at home. All right, let's go to Cincinnati. Can you do a weekly, I guess, talk show, an opinion show if you're 2-5? Can you continue to do that?
You shouldn't. Boy, they may have a mask on this week.
I don't know. Well, it looked great for the Batman and Robin and Alfred show early on in this game against Miami.
Like their first 15, right down the field.
I mean, there was Ocho with 14 yards, and then T.O. in the end zone. First opening drop touchdown in the last 13 games, 15-play drive, and the Bengals looked like they were showing up for business on this day. Up 7-6 here. The Dolphins, Chad Henne, picked by Morgan Trent.
Yeah, there's 3 people back there. That Morgan Trent, that's an easy interception for him.
Ball shouldn't have been thrown.
Next play for the Bengals, Palmer to T.O. Boy. It actually was in and out of the hands of Chris Clemens, who then, I guess, kicked it in the air to T.O.
You understand this. They got a pick. Carson almost threw a pick right back to him, and luckily, they need that sometimes to happen.
The Dolphins, however, were defensively stout after that. And although offensively, just settling for 1 field goal after another, 5 Dan Carpenter field goals had them leading by 1 point early on in the 4th quarter when Brandon Marshall, who had 5 catches for 64 yards, got in on the act there. And then 3 plays later, turn on your hotline.
Play call, good blocking downfield for a 25 or 30-yard gain.
I did just make a Neil Diamond singing an E.T. song reference. That's pretty good. I don't know if I'm very proud of that. Next play, Ricky Williams up the guts, down to the 1. And then next play, Ricky runs into the end zone. Allow Ricky to set Ricky up. Marvin Lewis is going to challenge this play.
What?
It didn't look like he got in. It's ruled a touchdown after deliberation.
And the far official, the one at the top of your screen, is the one who signals touchdown.
Better angle. See, no one impeded his vision.
Everybody's impeding his vision.
No, not the far guy.
Well, at any rate, it was placed that is called, and it's an 8-point deficit now for Cincinnati. Benny Sapp hit Cedric Benson for a 7-yard loss in the ensuing drive. 22 minutes the Bengals went without a first down after a Dolphins punt. Here's a first down finally for Ocho on 3rd and 10. Next play from the Dolphins 37. Palmer has Owens
wide open. Get it to him. Put it on him.
T. also didn't come back for it.
Come back for me. He was wide open by 5 yards. What are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do?
Well, Palmer throwing Ocho incomplete on 3rd and 10. Kendall Langford grazes Palmer's helmet. Would you believe that's a 15-yard?
No, I can't believe that.
You got to stop. They got to stop this.
That's kind of
They got to stop.
So, fresh set of downs with which Palmer gets picked.
You know it's coming.
Deshaun Smith. Who is this on, though? Who is this on? Let's be honest.
Let me see.
I think he anticipated him continuing to run through there.
Him being T.O. 4th straight loss for the Bengals. Dolphins now 4-0 on the road. Week number 10. Begins with the Ravens at Atlanta on Thursday night. They're at home against the Miami Dolphins, who win every time they take their talents away from the South Beach. They're 4-0 on the road this year, going into a crisp day in Baltimore when the kid from the U puts it right down on Miami, weaves through their entire defense, virtually untouched. Willis McGahee putting the first points on the board with a 32-yard scamper through the Miami defense, 7-0. Balmer, but the Dolphins come right back with an 11-play, 75-yard drive with a sight for sore eyes. The first touchdown for Ronnie Brown since week 1.
Man, Miami hasn't been scoring touchdowns. They've been kicking too many field goals. That's a good job.
And then Chad Henne showed some warts again. Picked by Darius Webb.
Well, this Raven defense can force you into mistakes and to rush the football and throw the ball into coverages that you did not expect.
But the Ravens made a mistake themselves on special team, enough to snap on the field goal following the interception. So it's still just 13-7, pardon me. When Anthony Fasano can't grab the ball as the ball just fluttered there.
He's wide open. This ball came out of his hand a little goofy right here, and I'd like to have that one back.
So Dan Carpenter kicks a field goal, and despite Penny's struggles, the Dolphins are right in this thing, down 3 in the 3rd quarter. Flacco to Ray Rice, running for the Ravens. 180 total yards. 4 plays later, Flacco, Derek Mason.
This receiving corps might be the best receiving corps in the league.
20-10. It got Dante Stallworth back today as well. He didn't have the catches, but he did get back on the field. 4th quarter now, Chad Henne throwing for Brandon Marshall. It's a tip drill, and this is a ball hawk right here.
Oh, you know he's there. Cut back. Watch him try to pitch it. Hold it in.
Don't do it.
Led to a Billy Cunda field goal because Ed didn't pitch it. And that put the final nail in the coffin. It's the Dolphins' first loss of the season on the road, and the Ravens are 6-2. Let's go to Miami. Randy Moss with his old Marshall teammate right there, getting clean slates today.
We are Marshall.
That's right. Moss starting his first game as a Titans, and Chad Pennington his first start in a couple of years. And would you believe he lasted 2 plays?
That's unfortunate. He has suffered so many injuries in his career.
He hurt his shoulder there. He was done. 2 plays and in. They fear he's done for the year.
Yeah.
The Dolphins fear he is done for the year. Chad Henne, who was benched earlier in the week, comes in the game. Finds Lusaka Polite over the middle, first down to the 2, and then Ronnie Brown would take it in from there. So, even though they switched up Chads, it did work for the Dolphins early on at 7-0. Kerry Collins starting for the injured Vince Young, looks for Randy Moss. Vontae Davis, incomplete, flag on the play, pass interference.
Well, you throw the ball up, sometimes good things will happen, whether it's a catch or a PI like this.
So Moss was a factor in that moment. 5 plays later, Chris Johnson. And Moss was a factor here because the safety was so deep on the other side, making sure Moss was double covered. CJ2K was able to stroll in the end zone. So Moss is a factor on those sets of downs, 7-all. Kerry Collins, right before the half, throws, follows through, and then all of a sudden, what's wrong?
That's age. That's age.
Is that an Achilles? What is it?
Age. Done for the day. So Vince Young has to come in.
Here we go.
Even though he
Save the day.
Able to start.
2 earrings on the side.
3rd and 9.
Think he was ready to play?
Midway through the 3rd quarter. Oh boy.
See what I'm saying?
I didn't think I was playing.
You didn't.
So if you had 1 earring,
2 earrings on the sideline, you're not ready to play football, man.
Randy starts, recovers as Jeremiah Bell forces the fumble. Chad Henne hits Patrick Cobb. Laced.
touchdown. Dolphins up 10 points, 20-10 at home. Titans next possession, 3rd and 3 from the Dolphins 14. Nate Washington in the end zone. That's a 2-earring catch.
Good throw, man.
Titans now down just by 3. Dolphins next possession. Chad Henne's back to pass. Hit as he throws, and this Chad goes down with what could be a season-ending knee injury. The Dolphins are going to take an MRI Monday and are hoping for the best. But Henne limps off, which means it's Tyler Thigpen time, everybody. But because he's the emergency third quarterback, he can't come in before the fourth quarter for fear that no other quarterback would be able to come in the game, so they go Wildcat for the first time in a long time, and it works out. Brings in Dan Carpenter for the field goal to go up by 6, and then Tyler Thigpen comes in the fourth quarter. Again, if Thigpen had come in the third quarter, Henne couldn't have come back. They didn't know at the time that he couldn't. Bottom line is Thigpen's in and doing stuff, and he's doing well. Flag would be for Jason Babbitt on a face mask, so that completion to Anthony Fasano, 31-yard gain, will stand. 15 yards more because of the face mask. 6 plays later, Anthony Fasano's in the end zone.
Beautiful.
So Tyler Thigpen getting it done for the now 5-4 Dolphins. Mike Lombardi with T-squared after.
How many reps did you get this week in practice?
None at all. I got about 100 mental reps, though. So no physical reps. But you know what? That's what the number 3's got to be able to do. He's got to be able to get no reps during the week, and he's got to be able to go out there and perform.
Now, are you the number 1?
I would like to think so, but hey, we got to come to work tomorrow. We got a short week this week, so give the guys a lot of credit. Offensive line, receivers, backs, they did a great job as a team effort defensively and special team.
Let's check out how it all went down here. Kickoff week number 11 in the National Football League. Jake Cutler and the Bears against Brandon Marshall and the Dolphins. Cutler and Marshall, teammates back in the day in Denver, and Tyler Thigpen making his first start as a Miami Dolphin. 3rd possession of the game, down 3-0. Charles Tillman picks off Tyler Thigpen, and the night began to go downhill from there.
Got a little greedy right there, threw it over the top of the underneath defender, and it wasn't going to happen.
Led to a Robbie Gould field goal as the Dolphins defense was keeping Miami in the game. So it's just 6-0 now in the second quarter. When Brandon Marshall does something foolish, he picks up a first down, then flips the ball at Jake Cutler, and he's called 15 yards for taunting.
I'm not going to say that's foolish. That's his friend. They played together. I know the referees don't know it. It's not like he threw the ball at him. He just flipped it to him as Jay was heckling him. It was nothing inconsiderate. It's nothing inconsiderate. What did he throw it hard at it?
It got nothing to. He threw it at all. I mean, and you know a ref is going to call that. There's no context in some of these calls that the refs make, and that one, you know, they're not going to do that. And then Brandon Marshall later on, his night got even worse. Injured his hamstring on this play over the middle, and it was his last play of the night. So the offense was sputtering and then had to be without their top wide receiver, already without their top 2 quarterbacks. The offense struggled all night. It's 9-0 now in the third quarter. Thigpen, one of the 6 times he was sacked on the night by the Bears defense. Taken down on that play by Israel Adonijah, and then the Bears get the ball back and start moving it down the field again. Cutler, who was money on 3rd down all night, finds Greg Olsen from the U making a nice catch on the sideline, and then 3 plays later, Olsen again moving the chains inside the 10, and then 3 plays after that, Matt Forte caps a 13-play, 55-yard drive that essentially wrapped the game up.
These guys are 31st in the league coming into the game on 3rd down. They were quite successful tonight.
And this is the shot that pretty much encapsulates the season. Look at that. Pennington in a sling, Marshall in street clothes, Thigpen out there trying his best on a short week. 3rd-string quarterback swarmed under by Brian Urlacher for the 8-yard loss. He comes in virtually untouched.
Well, you got a new center in there, Richie Incognito, who's a guard, happens to be playing center because their backup center, Corey Proctor, got hurt early in the game.
So with 4 minutes to go, trying to avoid only their 2nd home shutout in the last 40 years, Thigpen and the Dolphins go for it on 4th down, and Daniel Manning dislodges the ball from Devon Best.
That's an exclamation point right here on this game. Whap! Right here. Legal hit, a tough hit, and he broke it up.
Badly thrown ball. You got to put that ball ahead of the receiver.
16-0 is your final score, and fittingly, it's the Miami Dolphins who 25 years ago, that 16-0 right there you see on the screen is what they prevented the Chicago Bears from achieving right here in Miami. 25 years later, the Bears get a nice win, 16-0 on the road to improve to 7-3 for Lovie Smith.
Let's go out to Oakland. Chad Henne made a return. A lot of people thought he might not return in 2010 because of a knee injury. And look how things began for the Oakland Raiders. The opening kickoff returned by the fastest man at the combine, Jacoby Ford.
You're not going to catch it.
4.28 at the combine. What'd you run, Prime?
I ran a 4.21 for breakfast.
Raiders are up 7-0 just like that, but this is the Gus Johnson game.
Yeah.
So things are going to be a little freaky. Patrick Cobbs out of the backfield, 29-yard touchdown from Henne. The Dolphins are up 10-7 next possession. Chad Henne from the Raiders 11, and this is a boo-boo. Play action fake. Devon Best.
Take your time. Take your time.
It's intended for him, and then Rolando McClain just bucks it out of the air. And Tony Sperano is like, this is why we went to Pennington, Chad.
Well, you got a little greedy right there. There's too many people in coverage. Throw it away, Chad.
Raiders, can they turn it into points? Doc B. Jacoby Ford is making plays on offense.
You're not going to catch him. You can forget that.
First career receiving touchdown for Jacoby Ford. And Bruce Gradkowski got the start. Nice throw and even better yak out of Ford.
Okay, you're going to yak when you win 4.28 now. That guy can scoop.
Raiders up at the half by a point, but the Dolphins get the ball to start the second half, and Marlon Moore is making a play.
Did he not think that he was going to run the ball after he caught it? Make the tackle, guys.
Brandon Marshall was out for this game. Wasn't with the team, and Marlon Moore was making like Brandon Marshall. 57-yard score. Dolphins are up by 9 late in the third quarter, and Ricky Williams puts this game to bed. So the Dolphins looked dead in the water when we last saw them on Thursday Night Football against the Bears, but they are now 6-5, and it's Tom Cable's crew that is 5-6. So Tony Sperano, booyah.
That was good. Big for that. Throw up.
Good for them. Let's go to Miami. Chad Henne and the Dolphins coming off of a big win in Oakland last week to give new life to their season. Dan Carpenter against the Browns, down 3. Carpenter from 60 yards away. He got it.
Got it. 60 yards.
That's the longest field goal in team history.
Made it by an inch.
Tied the game at halftime at 3s. Third quarter. The Browns have the ball, and their quarterback is named Jake Delhomme. And he finds Muhammad Massaquoi. 37-yard gain right around midfield.
Put it up there. Let him make a play.
4 plays later, it's Delhomme.
Make a play.
To Ben Watson.
Somebody's going to make a play.
Hey, we got a touchdown.
Jake's hot.
10-3.
Jake's hot. Haven't heard that.
Fourth quarter. Chad Henne needs to make a play. Steps up, puts him down, picks him up, does slide. First down to the Browns 34, 11th play of the drive, 6 plays later. Henne to Anthony Fasano. Touchdown, and the Dolphins tied at 10 late in the fourth quarter. Sperano's fired up.
Love to see a coach show emotion.
Henne with a minute to go at his own end. What a bad luck right there. Well, it hit David Bowens, and it's tipped right to Mike Adams. And with less than a minute to go, it's now a bunny of a field goal for Phil Dawson. I guess if Miami ruined Cleveland's NBA season, Cleveland can effectively end Miami's NFL season.
That was good, Rich. That was good.
This is bigger than LeBron.
Audience, the Dolphins in town, and Coach Mark Sanchez just has not been the same player that we saw in the first half of the season.
He's not, and he's in a little bit of a slump right now, and that'll happen to a second-year quarterback. And right now, Rex has got to decide, do you let him push through it, or do you let him sit and watch somebody else for a little bit?
There you see it was rocked by Kendall Langford. Quentin Moses comes up with the fumble recovery. It was that kind of day. Dolphins now up 3-0. Chad Henne to Brandon Marshall. Marshall back for the first time after missing a couple of games with a bad hamstring. Dolphins on top, 10-0.
Marshall was excited there, Fred.
The second quarter.
Happy to be back.
And it's Henne rocked by Calvin Pace. The Jets come up with the recovery. So can Gangrene get something going?
No.
Here we go, Prime, on 3rd and 10. And this just hurts. This hurts.
Mike, that was a great route, slant and goal, cornerback bit. This is the only problem. You got to make that play, Santonio.
All right, it led to a Nick Folk field goal. 3:11 left here in the third. Now watch Nolan Carroll. This is on a punt. As he's running out, he was almost tripped by Jet strength and conditioning coach Sal Alosi. Stuck his knee out there. Clearly, more on that coming up in a minute.
I bet you that.
Carroll was banged up on the play, but he did return to the game.
Fine for that. I want to help my team any way I can.
Jets still trailing 10-3. It is Sanchez to Santonio. Holmes who lays out.
He made up for that drop right there.
Yeah, that one didn't get away.
But they weren't able to get in the end zone.
The other one was
They had to settle for another field goal, 10-6. Henny trying to scramble here on a 3rd and 3. But Brian Thomas says it's not going to happen. And this is the same situation the Jets have found themselves in, Coach, in a lot of the key games that they've actually come back and won, but it wasn't to be today. It's to come back and bite you.
The close games, the overtime games on the road, they've done it. But in this drive, they failed to put successive plays together. 2 sacks right here on 2nd down and on 4th down to end this game.
Cameron Wake getting Sanchez there. This is a big 3rd and 16, and Dustin Keller can't hold on. 4th and 16. It is Cameron Wake. Good night. Mark Sanchez and the Jets. They fall 10-6, so now they are 2 games behind the New England Patriots in the AFC East.
Big game in the AFC East. Miami Dolphins at 7-6, looking to beat the Buffalo Bills and stay in the playoff race. If they lose, they will be eliminated from contention. First quarter, no score. 3rd possession for Miami, and that ball is intercepted. The pass from Chad Henne intended for Patrick Cobbs, picked off by George Wilson, returns to the Miami 35. 4th and 1 coming up here for the Bills at the 26. They are going for it. Fred Jackson goes up the middle. He converts. It's a 1st down for Buffalo at the Dolphins 24. 2 plays later, a 2nd and 12. Ryan Fitzpatrick hits David Nelson. He bobbles the ball but holds on and sets up a 1st and goal at the 6. The rookie from Florida getting it done. And then after a touchdown was nullified, Ryan Fitzpatrick goes right back to the rookie for an 18-yard score. It's the 15th straight game with a touchdown pass for Fitzpatrick. He threaded the needle big time on that one, went straight through the hands of Carlos Dansby. Bills lead at 7-0. Then, after a Miami punt, it's C.J. Spiller on the return, battling some traffic down the sideline and hitting the tightrope, and he stepped out of bounds, but he set up excellent field position and a field goal by Ryan Lindell. Bills go up 10-0 on the road, looking to spoil the season for Miami. But Brandon Marshall would have something to say about that. A 16-yard gain, and then on the Wildcat, Ronnie Brown on 2nd and goal runs it outside, hits the end, and gets into the end zone for a touchdown. Dolphins on the board, trailing 10-7, and that was the halftime score. He got some excellent blocking downfield from Brandon Marshall on the play. He was holding off Drayden Florence on that. On to the 2nd possession of the half for Buffalo. 3rd and 3 at their 21. Big time play by rookie Namon Roosevelt going up there in traffic for a gain of 24. Ryan Fitzpatrick had 2 touchdown passes in the game. Sets up a 1st and 10 at the 45. Then looking end zone, Steve Johnson does a little dance after making the grab. His 10th touchdown catch of the season. Buffalo goes up 17-7, but the Dolphins trying to come back with 7 minutes to go. It's another catch by Brandon Marshall, this time for a touchdown. He had 11 catches for 106 yards and that TD. They were down by 3, looking to come back with 2.5 minutes left. Anthony Fasano makes the grab, a gain of 16, sets up a 1st and 10 at the 31. 4 plays later, 4th and 9, setting up for a field goal to tie it, and Dan Carpenter misses it wide to the right from 48 yards out. He missed all 4 of his field goals, and the Dolphins were eliminated from the playoffs. The 7-7 Dolphins hosting the Lions. They are both playing for pride. Miami 1-6 at home on the season, but they have won 5 in a row against Detroit. Lions looking to win 3 in a row for the first time since 2007. First quarter, Lions forced to punt, and they kick to Devon Best, who returns it to the right side, dancing around, hit hard. He was drilled by Ashley Palmer. Ball comes up loose. Excellent field position for Detroit. They turned it into a field goal, going up 3-0 on the road. Then Sean Hill's favorite weapon, Brandon Pettigrew, got it done. The touchdown catch, his 4th of the season. Detroit goes up 10-3 on the road. But Miami coming back. Lusaka Polite, how about his first career rushing touchdown to tie up the game at 10, capping off an 11-play, 80-yard impressive drive for Miami. Their offense was not done. The ball tipped with 30 seconds to go in the half, into the hands of Devon Best, ruled a touchdown on the field. There was a booth review because Best's foot did go out of bounds, but because the ball was deflected, the ruling on the field stands with a touchdown. Miami up 17-10 at the half. Chad Henne playing well so far. Third quarter down by 7. Lions looking to get back in the ballgame. How about an excellent grab by Calvin Johnson? How many times have we seen him do that this season? Nice catch falling out of bounds, a 16-yard gain. Miami challenged the call, but Johnson maintained possession as he fell to the turf. Ruling on the field upheld. It led to a Maurice Morris 5-yard score. Lions tie the game at 17. First and 10 at the 29. Chad Henne going to work. He finds Mickey Schuler Jr. Who? That's right, his first career reception led to a Ronnie Brown touchdown. Dolphins up 24-17. They added a field goal, so Detroit down by 10. Under 5 minutes to go. Sean Hill with the dump off. Jonathan Best is there, getting some blocking down the field. Takes it into the end zone. A 53-yard score. Nate Burleson with a beautiful blocking down the field. Cleared a path for Best. His first touchdown since week 2. That's what turf toe will do to you. Only down by 3 when Chad Henne was intercepted with under 4 minutes to go. Could the comeback be on for Detroit? You betcha they kick a field goal to tie it. And then Chad Henne again. What are you doing? DeAndre Levy still on his feet. He could take it in himself. And he did just that. A 34-27 lead for Detroit. Miami blowing this one. They only have 25 seconds left. The pass complete down the field. Chad Henne looking to move his men down the field. They need a touchdown to tie it. And then they go to Ronnie Brown, but the tackle is made, and Nathan Vasher keeps Brown in bounds. Miami trying to get to the line of scrimmage. They only have 1 play left here to get it done. Clock is ticking. The referee trying to spot the ball. He doesn't spot it until time expires, and that's how the game ended. 2 costly interceptions by Chad Henne and 1 great tackle by Nathan Vasher, and Detroit has a 3-game winning streak. Patriots hosting the Dolphins. They've already locked up the top overall seed in the AFC, looking to finish undefeated at home on the season. Opening Miami drive, the play fake by Chad Henne, looking down the field. Pass intended for Brandon Marshall. Looks like he got him, but no, Devin McCourty stepped in front of him for his 7th interception of the season. Great field position for New England. Made him pay right after that. Tom Brady to Rob Gronkowski for the 10th time this season. Patriots go up 7-0. Gronkowski, the most touchdowns by a rookie tight end since Mike Ditka. And how about on the very next possession for the Patriots? This is their first turnover since week 9 against Cleveland, snapping their streak of 7 straight games without a turnover, but they were okay after that. 7-0 still up, and then the swing pass to Julian Edelman from Brady. He takes it 40 yards all the way down to the 1-yard line. Patriots playing without Wes Welker, but Edelman sure looks a lot like him. On their very next play, first and goal from the 1, Ben Jarvis. Green Ellis into the end zone. A touchdown for him. He had 80 yards in the game. They go up 14-0. That was Ben Jarvis' 13th touchdown of the season. Second quarter, same score, 14-0 deficit. But Ricky Williams takes the handoff inside and fumbles the strip by Rob Ninkovich. He got the recovery. Eric Moore with this strip of Ricky. A long day for the Dolphins because after that, they were punting, and the next big play for the Patriots. Julian Edelman all over the field, making a couple guys miss, trying to find a seam up the middle, and he does. Oh, he's got the punter to beat. Are you kidding me? Edelman absolutely gone. The longest punt return in history for the Patriots. 94 yards for Julian Edelman, has them up 24-0 at the half. A big-time game for Julian Edelman. Also on the receiving end, 72 yards in the game. Tom Brady still going to work and doing even more. Brandon Tate breaking off some tacklers, racing down the sideline, finally tripped up at the 10-yard line. A big pickup for Brandon Tate. Then 2 plays later, second and goal. Tom Brady working out of the shotgun, looks for Algie Crumpler on the right side, who takes it into the end zone. A 10-yard score. It is a rout, very similar to the first meeting between these teams on Monday night. 31-0. Patriots on top. Ensuing Dolphins drive, more problems for Miami. Chad Henne brought down in the backfield by Vince Wilfork, a 7-yard loss, and Tom Brady was done for the day. How about 36 touchdowns against only 4 picks on the season? What a year for Brady, the MVP favorite. And then Brian Hoyer took over after that, the Michigan State product, bombing one towards the end zone, and that is Brandon Tate, a 42-yard score. Patriots go up 38-0. They roll to victory 38-7. Patriots finish 14-2. Dolphins, a disappointing 7-9.